Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with the word for today. And the word for today is belong. The NCV version says in Galatians 5, crucify the old sinful self and belong to Jesus. I was reading a book sometime in the recent past, and the guy talked about one of those pivotal moments in his walk with Jesus. He was a pastor, and he said he worked really hard on doing all the things he thought a pastor was supposed to do. Oh, he tried really hard to do all the right things, keep his relationship with the Lord vibrant, but he couldn't keep all the plates spinning. Shocking. And he was starting to feel defeated, frustrated, and hopeless. Now, I'm sure that none of us have ever felt this way. Yeah, right. And he said in the midst of crying out to the Lord that the Lord said to him, just belong to me. He said it took him 5 years to unpack, to understand, and come to grips with this idea of just belong to Jesus, at which point his ministry began to flourish. Now, obviously, just belong to Jesus really impacted me. I think I'm a year or two into the journey of just belong to Jesus. I do think this is a key concept. If I just belong to Jesus, then I'm no longer my own. If I just belong to Jesus, then I'm free from the law of sin and death. If I just belong to Jesus, then all the pressure to perform is gone. If I just belong to Jesus, then the only thing I really have to concentrate on is responding in obedience to Jesus, without debate, without resistance. If I just belong to Jesus, then He is with me, which opens up the realm of the impossible for me. If I just belong to Jesus, then I will have success. I will have satisfaction. I will have significance, and I will have security. If I just belong to Jesus, then I can be who He made me to be. If I just belong to Jesus, then I can do what He made me to do, and He provides everything I need to do it. If I just belong to Jesus, then I have the courage to stand and the ability to resist fear and disappointment. If I just belong to Jesus, then I can completely obey everything He says. If I just belong to Jesus, then He sets me free. If I just belong to Jesus, then I can stand strong. I do not change, and I do not go back into the slavery of sin. If I just belong to Jesus, then I'm all in, and I live God's way by faith. If I just belong to Jesus, then I have the important thing, which is faith, the faith that works through love. If I just belong to Jesus, then I will run my race. I will follow His way of doing things. If I just belong to Jesus, then I won't allow even the littlest bit of sin to come into my camp. If I just belong to Jesus, then I will stay on course with the truth. If I just belong to Jesus, then I will use my freedom to serve others in love and not serve self. If I just belong to Jesus, then I will live by following the Spirit. If I just belong to Jesus, then I will not do what the sinful self wants to do, but I will do what the Spirit wants me to do. If I just belong to Jesus, then I will be led by the Spirit. If I just belong to Jesus, then I will allow the fruit of the Spirit to grow in my life. So the point of today is to crucify the old sinful self and just belong to Jesus. The word for today is belong. So get out there and do some just belonging today. God bless. Check in tomorrow.